Guys, I should have had record going before I hit the music because, anyways, guys, welcome to episode 90. Yes, sentence is still spelled wrong. Sentence. And I found myself spelling that wrong in other places now that I know. So it's not a typo. It's not the first time I did it. It's just something wrong right up in here where I haven't spelled sentence wrong my entire life.
And we're doing episode 90 again.
Exactly.
Because last week it was 90.
I know, because reasons. Go back and listen. If you weren't there, you won't get it. Inside joke. Better be here every week, bitches. All right, guys, we are going to continue our ongoing mini-series on AI, although I have a sneaky feeling we'll be talking about AI again. And today, we've mentioned before that you can customize chat, and there's some stuff we're going to review on that, but now we're going to dig in a little bit deeper and we're going to talk about integration. So before we go there, let's start with our introductions. I'm Justin Shelley, CEO of Phoenix IT Advisors. Yeah, I help people use technology and now AI to make more money and then protect that money from the Russian hackers, the government fines and penalties, and then them greedy attorneys who will come and sue your ass if you get breached. It's a war zone out there nonstop, and I'm here to protect you from that war. That's it. That's what I got for an introduction. We're going to go, let's see. I know I had Josh first and then Bryan first. So Mario, I think you're up to go first this week. Who are you? What do you do? And who do you do it for?
Yeah, Mario Zaki, CEO of Mastech IT, located in New Jersey, servicing the New York, New Jersey area. 22 years this week, actually, was our anniversary. And we do pretty much everything Justin just said, but we widen our range. We don't stick to those fucking Russians. We protect you from everybody, and including new AI agents that are coming after you as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good point. Bryan, what do you got for us?
Bryan Lachapelle with B4 Networks, based in beautiful Niagara, Ontario, Canada. And we help business owners remove the headaches and frustrations that come with dealing with all of those technologies you're talking about. So I do more than the two of you combined.
Shit. Damn, we're throwing down today. Josh, beat that, Josh.
Go ahead, just state all of the above.
Yeah, Seventh AI Technologies, Joshua Holloway, the CEO, and ditto.
There we go.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, so, we're an AI-centric MSP. I would like to think we're one of the first, but we're human-led because we're compliance-led, and we're working with businesses that have compliances wrapped around them, and we're trying to figure out how do we get their technology to work with it. Now we're trying to figure out how do we get AI to work with it. And for those who probably aren't keeping up with the news, I believe Florida just sued ChatGPT and Sam Altman. So now we're starting to see some new legal battles come out. We might even talk about it here a little bit later. But yeah, our company is helping people figure out how do they make compliance legal work in technology and make that technology work, because the only way to be 100% secure is to turn it all off.
So they sued Disney first, and now they're suing ChatGPT.
Yep,
they're just jealous that they're not based out of there.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, and I mean, so really it boils down to a young man under 18 decided to use ChatGPT to help him plan a mass school shooting, and it was found out, and Florida sued ChatGPT because the agent helped him along, and they think that there's liability there and no guardrails. So what could be talked about, what is liable and what could be sued, and Florida's kind of paving that way. So if you get a chance, check out that 86-page legal document and probably use Claude to read it or ChatGPT to read it. I don't know. Do I use ChatGPT?
No, it'll be
probably
biased.
Programmed to lie about that whole entire case.
Yeah.
Run it through Gemini.
Yeah, but Claude or Gemini, they're gonna bash the shit out of them. They're like, oh yeah, they should get sued. They should close down, and they're trying to kill off each other.
It opens up the legal ramifications across all the different AI and the agents and the bots, and now we have a whole new control structure, just like students being controlled on where they go on the web, and now we have to control what's being said in the AI and who is liable. Does the school become liable because the student chatted inappropriately? Like, what are we going to do to protect that and then protect everybody, student included?
Yeah.
And this is where I'll brag about a little bit of knowledge and then end with, I have no fucking idea how this stuff works. But like, it's not like AI knows what it's doing. Yeah. It is math. It is simply linear algebra. That's it. Mm-hmm. It runs probabilities on what token, what piece of a word comes next, based on a whole lot of parameters. So I'm glad it's not me who has to now rein in the monster that's been created and figure out how to not get it to say certain things. Because all it does is run statistical probabilities and come up with words.
And it does that terribly. I've found myself lately just asking it, can you check your work and double check it and then triple check it? And it'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. I found a few things I did wrong. Here you go. I'm like, oh, I did it again.
Because it doesn't know.
Nothing pisses me off than when you notice it did something wrong and you point it out. You're like, "Oh, good catch."
Can I get my?
I'm like, yeah, like, where's my refund? You just spent 20 minutes trying to freaking do this, and I looked at it in 3 seconds and said you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I
have it checking itself, but I usually use a second chat with no context to do the verification. That way, especially in coding.
We should do like
teach the AI to say you're full of shit to the other one, because I would love to see that.
That'd be funny. Yeah. They go back and forth. You did this wrong. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. It's my marriage all over again.
God.
Brian standing in the background saying, "Fight, fight, 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 fight."
Yeah, but then he's getting on Kalshi trying to bet on it.
That'd be a whole new realm of gambling.
Guys, Jesus Christ, can we get back to the episode?
Hey, this is what the viewers want to listen to.
No, I know. I'm just thinking, I always wish I had hit record earlier. This is the stuff you guys are missing out on right here. So you're welcome, audience. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, what they don't realize is today we were actually trying to all be good, and we kept the chat to a minimum before you hit record.
Well, that's why we're doing it now. We don't have our outlet.
I mean, Josh, 30 minutes is kept to a minimum. It took us 30 minutes to hit
honestly,
record.
For us, that's doing pretty good. I don't know what it's like before you invited me on, but
yeah, it was a little faster actually. Now I think about it.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching the statistics right now, and I'm actually watching the audience increase as we continue to banter. So maybe it is the right answer. I don't know. And that's bullshit because we don't have statistics until later. Guys, we have spent 3 weeks. We were supposed to do 4. We came on, thought it was the 3rd out of 4th, and I'm like, dude, we're done with this. I'm bored, right? And so today should have been the final in the just getting your GPT, your Claude project, or whatever you're using customized to talk the way you want it to. But instead, we're going to pivot and we're going to talk about integrations. That said, maybe we needed that final episode because it was just yesterday that I finally went back into, I've been bragging about Hats for a while, Hats AI. And I've got a thing built that publishes our podcast. It comes up with the description that we use, and it comes up with the social media post content, the text, right? So Leanna goes in and she gets the clips themselves. And she does that by listening. This is not AI. She listens and she finds the stuff she likes. I'm always pretty happy with the clips she pulls. But the description that goes on LinkedIn, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that's embarrassing because it's AI slop. And so I finally got in there and I said this, I added this to the instructions. I said, match the tone closely to the transcript. And then I gave it the full transcript of that episode. And then I said, do not produce generic AI slop. So you can actually tell your AI agent to not be quite so AI, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think that's what we call an endless loop.
Well, if AI is not AI, what does it become?
I don't know. I don't know. More like me. I don't know, Josh.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, well, fuck.
Oh, in so many ways. Okay, we've talked about platform setup, basic security, prompting fundamentals. Last week we talked about the frameworks. And Josh, funny thing in your introduction, you're going on and on about frameworks and compliance and this and that. And in the short amount of time that you have been on this podcast, and I've thrown a few transcripts into my Claude project, it now, every time I talk about you, is like, oh, well, Josh really likes frameworks. Bitch, I've been talking about frameworks to you for a lot longer than Josh has, but Josh now is the expert on frameworks. Whatever. So if you go back, guys, if audience, I'm talking to you now, not these other shitheads. Go to episode 89. And this is going to come into another announcement. /90. Episode 89. And the resources I actually included the PDFs that Josh mentioned, we were kind of talking from last week. So those are now available for download. And on that note, I am announcing that the full reveal comes when we get into segment 3 on vibe coding. But I have been vibe coding all along the way a new platform for this podcast. The idea initially was all about getting in and tracking your journey through putting the security fundamentals in place. And I got so distracted just building out the front page that has the podcast episodes and the resources, because I'm going to rat on myself. For 90 episodes now, I've been telling people, go to unhacked.live, or then it went to unhackmybusiness.com and all this. I'm like, go there and you'll find all the resources and stuff. But then I would go to my developer, I'm going to rat on him, vertical action. I probably shouldn't have done that. Lawsuit pending. And I'd be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And they're like, nope, sorry, I can't do it on this platform. I tried to do it myself. I'm like, nope, you don't have access. Like everything I try to do on there just gets stonewalled. So I kept saying it. I kept lying about it because I knew someday I would get this problem solved. Now I can finally upload documents to unhackmybusiness.com per episode. There we go. That's my big announcement for today. We are going to now dig into integrations.
Why didn't you push the button, like the cheering? Don't you have the button?
We don't have buttons. The audience cheers if they like what we say, but we don't. Oh, see? They like that. They like that, Mario. They like my comment, but they did not like your comment.
Well, maybe the audience was just a little delayed.
Yeah. I was a little delayed too.
All my sound effects are delayed. I don't know why.
Move them in the record.
ID10T error.
Exactly. All right, guys, enough. I think we're like our audience is dropping now. We were gaining audience, now we're dropping audience. Josh, tell us what you've done in integrations, but I want to frame it in, we're going to do a framework, a very simple framework. What was the problem you were trying to solve? What integration did you use, and what was the outcome? Take it away.
So one of the issues I was trying to solve with is when I first come in the morning, and I was thinking about any other person being able to pick this up, and I come into about 600 to 800 emails every day.
Yeah.
Everybody does. And maybe sometimes 100 emails is a lot. For some people, their numbers are closer to mine, things like that. So what I really wanted to figure out is how could I use Claude Cowork to go through my email in a safe manner and not send emails randomly, which was a good start, but I'll just analyze my entire mailbox for the day and tell me, hey, for the start of the day, here are the top 5 emails that you should be working on, looking at before you even try and go through your email. Here's your calendar for the day. It will tell me if my day is light, my day is heavy, what I need to get prepared for. And that was kind of like the first start of it. Then, going from there, it created a schedule for it. It runs every morning at 7:55 a.m. for me, and that's how I start my day. Like I take a look at it. But I had to figure out how did I get that integrated, but then also wanted to figure out how do I get it integrated in a way that a person who's not in IT can either go and talk to their IT department and say, "Hey, I'm looking to use Claude Cowork. I would like to integrate it into Office 365 or have it access my mailbox." And I'll show you kind of the steps that I took. I had to essentially put in a request for the app, add it into my Claude app, and I'll share my screen here shortly. And then it became prompting and discussing. From that, I kind of went into, it's only read only. It's completely locked down, but it just having it read my daily emails, it's been super beneficial. And it also kind of came in and set up a new way for me to handle some of the other emails that I'm looking to do automations. And one of them is seeking Google reviews or chatting with people about setting up Google reviews. I now have it go through every ticket in our ticketing system where we get 5-star reviews in our surveys for our employees. And it now is creating the email, reading the ticket, generating a Google review that's SEO optimized, and says, "Hey, thank you so much for giving us a great survey for that employee. You've been entered for our monthly drawing, but you have an opportunity to enter our employee for a quarterly drawing. So here's the ticket that you submitted and a potential Google review. Please feel free, use your own words, but we wrote one for you to help you out. If you would be so kind, please provide us a Google review. That has now like saved me an hour every other day or 30 minutes a day, just going through the surveys and finding that information. And right now I'm doing it all through Claude Cowork. So that's kind of some of the new automations and ones I felt that would be like pretty fresh for anybody getting started in automation in Claude, where they could start there and I'll kind of show you how I secured it, or instead of just giving it full access to my computer, I went with folder structures. I gave it like, here's a folder. So I'll go through that and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So if you want, I can share my screen now, or if you guys have any questions before I do that, hit me.
Go ahead, Mario.
I'm interested to see this because the other day I accidentally clicked on the AI button on my phone, which I never had it summarize my emails before. And all of a sudden it gave me like, oh, here's your top 5 most important emails. And the first one was like, you got to make sure you reply back because you've been entered to win like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's junk. And then the next one's like, make sure you wire money to your Russian prince friend because he's stuck in like what? And I'm like, what the hell is this? I think out of the 5, I think 4 of them were it was reading my junk mail folder or something. And one of them was okay, but I knew about it. But I'm interested to see how yours came out because I clicked on that. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to use this again.
I'm going to piggyback off you, Mario, because I set the same thing up, but a different platform whose name I'm not going to mention because I like them. I'm like, hey, give me the top 10 most important emails over the last 2 weeks. First of all, it gave me 7, not 10. All of them are outstanding. Pay your past due invoice to Microsoft with the reply of Microsoft, no reply at Microsoft.com. Like, it's a legit email. My account's current. These emails are not in my inbox. So Microsoft has apparently hacked into my little AI thing and is trying to get more money. I don't know what's going on there.
They're in cahoots.
So I'm dying, Josh. And literally everything it served was Microsoft trying to get money from me. So I'm on the edge of my seat. Josh, take it away.
Well, hopefully it's just as riveting as it. All right.
Love that.
So real quick, for those who've never set it up, you need the Claude desktop app. Typically, you land in chats. Once you come in here, you can choose customize. And when you get into customize, you're going in here because you want to add a connector to the system, right? When you go into connectors, it will typically give you a list of all the available connectors. Mine decided that it would start with the Microsoft plugin. But it will usually give you the top 10, top 15 connectors that you can use or plugins. You'll click on it, you'll choose connect, and then from there, you're not going to have global admin access to your Microsoft 365. And if you do, that needs to be changed really quick. But you'll have to go through a process with IT where they'll authorize it. They'll see that it reads your mailbox, read your calendar, will read your SharePoint access that you have based on your security, and then your OneDrive. Once you get that established in here, then you'll be able to come back, see that it's been established and set up, and then go into Cowork. Now, once you're in Cowork, it's just like prompting. So what I did is I started with a general prompt, and I said, I want you to go through my mailbox every day. And I can't show you that prompt because that's all built out now. Or actually, maybe I can. Here we go. So super simple. In the top 5 emails in my inbox, can you draft a response I can use? That is where I got started. That is how I started to figure out that the system worked and what it could see, what it had access to. And I'm just prompting in. What do you see in my inbox? If it doesn't have access, it's going to come back and say you don't have any access. If you do have access to the system, it's going to give you something like this, where surprisingly, the top 5 emails for me were tickets, because I receive every ticket that comes into into my company. And I have it because sometimes people email me through the tickets and I'm looking to catch those conversations. And from that, I went into like a daily inbox summary and I started to build it out. And again, I wanted to do simple, non-frameworked based prompting. I said, create me a daily inbox summary that runs at 7:55 every day, Monday through Friday. It just started with my inbox. And then I had it test it. And then I realized I was getting some good information. And then I was like, well, let's add to it. Can we add calendar information to the daily summary? Then I started getting calendar information. I saw what my day looked like, how busy it was. And then it just became, let's like add to it and add to it. And now what I have is my daily inbox summary that I receive. And it will give me, actions required. What do I need to hone in on and look at? What my calendar looks like, what's on par for the entire day. And then I get to then see any informational tickets, anything that could be considered time sensitive. And then the last one is noise. What is considered noise? So 18 vendor newsletters, marketing emails, sales outreach. So a lot of just stuff I can like ignore and just go through my email. Right now, it doesn't have the ability to affect whether an email message has been read or not, but I would like to get to that point so that the noise can just be auto read and moved, but have it read those to where it will summarize each one of those newsletters. So if something is super important, it's supposed to bring forth anything that's cybersecurity and AI related important to the top and let me know about it so I can read those particular newsletters or emails. So far, this has just been basic prompting. It set up its own schedule automatically. This just for it to run, the computer has to be on, and the Claude desktop app has to be active, and that's fine because I'm constantly doing things with it anyway. So I never close it. It's always up on one of my many screens, and it's just running in the background. And then from that one, we can see right here where I have my 1 p.m., my 3 p.m., and my 4 p.m. scheduled tasks for Google reviews. What's happening is we have a triage agent that goes through and it looks through all of our tickets. It now pulls all the summary information. It builds out a very comprehensive list of all the surveys, the data, what was said, how it was handled, how quickly it was taken care of so that it can read that and then build a Google review that we could share that people will possibly use, or hopefully in their own words, run with that information. But that happens every day, Monday through Friday, at 1, 3, and 4. Kind of an arbitrary time I picked just because it should have been like maybe 1, 2, or 3, or 2, 3, or 4. It's more about like how often we run our agents and then how often I want to send out these emails. Lastly, it writes the emails based off of a template that I gave it. It never sends a message. It can't. It is read only. So I actually have a script that runs in the background that parks every one of these email messages into my drafts. I go into them and here, let me see, I can pull one up for you. I just kind of prepped one today. We can see the whole entire body of the email. Hey, thank you so much for a 5-star review. Looking to get one in Google. We broke it down. Here's the ticket number, the issue that you were having, and a potential Google review. I go through, I review those. Sometimes I even change the verbiage and personalize it, and then I send it off because I want to make sure that there's a human in the middle at the end of it so that slop doesn't go out. So every once in a while I read, I'll go look for M dashes. I haven't set this one out, so you can see already I got a lot of M dashes in here, which I hate. Most people hate. But that's
I thought they got rid of those.
They still pop up, man. They really do.
Always.
So these were just a couple of quick prompts. You could see the sentences I was using, even though I wasn't using a framework. I figured for this, I would show exactly how most people would like gear this and pop out with an AI agent that runs in the background that helps me get through my email and some of my other stuff.
What about what would you assign this as a value, a metric? Do you have any math for us, Josh?
Yeah. So if you collectively add in the two active items that I'm doing, it's saving me about an hour and a half each day.
Okay, so let's do a little bit more math. And you probably don't want to give out any real financial numbers, but let's say you're worth $50 an hour. I don't know. And you
Oh
said an
man,
hour and a
right
half a
on.
day.
Yeah, about an hour and a half a day. No, and don't forget to factor in burden too. So $50 an hour is probably closer to about like 68.
There we go. $68 an hour times 5 times 52. We're talking a $26,520
Boom.
gain.
Write me a check.
So I'm just saying, I do want to start putting some numbers on this stuff because, yeah, and really, as the owner of a business, you're worth far more than that, because what you can do in, if you can reclaim an hour and a half every day, 7 hours a week, I mean, guys, that's 30. That's almost a full work week every month that you're reclaiming or close to it.
Yep.
What can you do for your business? How can you leverage that? And what additional revenue or opportunities can you take advantage of that were otherwise getting lost?
If you think about it, like if you go over to the Google reviews, right? As Google reviews improve, people are providing us those reviews. Obviously, our standings when people search get to see all that information. Hopefully, new business, new logos coming in, which helps our bottom line overall. I also like the idea that we've wrapped an entire incentive plan for our employees. So our employees don't just get handed like $25. It's a $200 payment, and we take a picture with the money, and they have to write a thank you card to the person that wrote the Google review, and we send proof that that person won directly with that thank you card. I add a personalized letter or personalized note in there saying, hey, I just wanted to show you that this makes a difference. Please tell anybody and everybody. Your surveys do matter, because we look at our surveys on how our employees are doing, how our business is running, and this just further improves it, because now our employees are like, oh man, I want to help these guys get a good Google review because I just saw so-and-so get $200. I want $200, right? I'm going to give the best customer service. And for me, customer service is huge. Like I live, breathe, and die. We're a service-based business. Like we have to give good customer service. And to me, that's just a good way that we can push it. When people give us regular surveys, non-Google based, we put them in a drawing every month. We send them a gift card. So
that's good.
That's another thing that we do. So it's not only like you see people receiving gift cards, because we actually physically mail a physical like gift card with a thank you that they can take. Hey, here's a couple of ducats, go buy some coffee a couple of times on us for the month or whatever. But this is another way. Now they're seeing gift cards coming from us. Now they're seeing more thank you cards with pictures that the staff that they know and love, receiving bonuses. Like I think it builds a different synergy amongst how we're handling service.
Yeah.
So that's priceless if you want to think.
No, it is. And that, like I like to put numbers on it. I've got the 10 to 50x improvement, but the one that I love the most that you cannot quantify is that it's infinite, because the things that I can do now with AI, I simply could not do before. Sure, if I had all the time in the world and I had no other hats that I wore, I could figure it out, and then it would take me years versus hours.
Right.
Like legitimately, the coding that I'm doing, the stuff that we're going to get into in the next segment, years. I could do it in years. I do have that technical background. There's no way I have the capacity for it. It simply can't happen without it. So this isn't just increasing productivity. It's opening doors that previously were not there for us. Guys, Bryan, Mario, you've been way too quiet. You guys were all laughs when we first started. Now you shut up. You got to say something.
To add to what you just said, like I have no capabilities of programming. I originally in college went into computer science, and I took a couple classes in like C++, and my final presentation, I jumped on it and I started working on it, and it was due like on a Friday, and I was finished by Monday, but I couldn't get it to compile for shit because it just kept failing. It just kept failing and failing, and it drove me crazy. And it was like I was spending like 20 hours a day trying to figure out what it was, and it turned out
Semicolon.
it was like a
Probably,
semicolon
or
instead of a
comma
colon,
somewhere.
and it was so stupid. And I'm like, fuck this. I will never do this again. I ended up changing from a computer science major right after that final, presentation to something else. And I just said I will never. And it's, we obviously all have taken classes in college that once we finished, we just erased it from your memory. That's exactly what I did. And I'm like, I don't want to ever do this ever again. And I just completely wiped it out from memory. And I never thought about it. And I've spent, I want to say, upwards to almost $200,000 a couple of years ago to develop an application with somebody, with a group of companies in overseas. I won't,
Pause, stop. Don't get ahead of this. Listen, I shit you not. Write that down. I want to come back to that, because when we get into the third segment of vibe coding, that is the exact point I want to talk about. Please take a note of that. The hundreds of thousands. I love that you have a number behind it, because we're going to move in. We're going to talk about this. This is a spoiler alert. We are coming back to the days where it was possible, practical, and maybe even mandatory to have custom applications. We got away from that for a long time, and we're getting back. And I think that is the biggest benefit to vibe coding. But I don't want to dig into it just yet. I do want to say you and I are polar opposites, because what you just described, finding that missing bracket, that missing semicolon, that's the shit that I love.
No, because I didn't even find it. I literally gave it to somebody else. I'm like, I've been messing with this for the last like 4 days. I can't figure it out, and my thing is due tomorrow or due later today. I forgot what it was. I'm like, can you help me? And the fucker found it in like 3 minutes, and I'm like,
I was that fucker.
Yeah.
I had a coworker that brought something to me, and he was writing something in a language I had never touched. It was like VB script or something. I don't know, which I knew how to code, but not in VB script. He's like, something's wrong and I can't find it. And I'm like, I bet it's this right here. Like that is my love language. I love writing code for computers. I'm actually sad that we don't do it the way we used to. I will say that the development environments now will help you if you choose to write your own code. They will find that stuff for you. Yeah. You're not on your own anymore. They've gotten, because it's such a common problem. Very, very frustrating though. Bryan, you've been way too quiet. I'm putting over to you now. You got to say something, Bryan.
So I guess just to reiterate, like, the amount of hours saved is one piece, but the consistency of being able to do it, right? Josh, I would hazard a guess that you didn't always go through all of the potential tickets that had positive reviews and send them all out to clients every single time on a consistent basis. Now you have that ability. Now every single piece is going to be done like a hamburger, like McDonald's, right? It's exactly the same no matter what part of the country you go to. You're getting the same taste, the same flavor, the same, whether you like it or not, it's the same, right? And you're doing that with your ability to be able to be not only consistent, but it's exactly the same. Like the output will look the way that you envisioned it. So if you ever pass it off to an employee to monitor it and manage it and make sure it continues happening, they don't have to know what the output looks like. You've taken that out of your brain and put it into an AI's ability to be able to do it for you consistently the same way each time. So that to me is the biggest benefit. Yes, lots of saving hours. Yes, we get to do more than we ever have before, but the consistency of being able to have something on autopilot and knowing that it's going to be the same thing every single time, to me that's the magic sauce.
Yeah, consistency is key, and you're absolutely correct. And case in point, as you were just speaking, I just got a notification from Claude that my 1 o'clock schedule just fired off and completed. So,
nice.
So you were doing something totally different. It just turned along. Just as predictable as the sun going down.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, we've always wanted to kind of be able to either add more time to our day or clone ourselves in a way. This isn't exactly, but it's as close as we're going to get for as we've ever been before, to being able to get an extra help, without getting a real human assistant to take care of some of the stuff, and spending the extra salary on it. This is it. This is stuff like this that can relieve you from doing other stuff. I mean, I know Justin and Josh, you were talking about like $68 an hour and stuff like that, but sometimes it's not even just the money. It's the peace of mind that's almost priceless, So
I'll give you another number that might help you out here too. I'm seeing a Google review for every 5 emails that I'm sending.
Ooh.
So whenever I do a batch, 1 in 5, I get a Google review. I always make sure to respond within hours of getting that, saying thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Hey, I got a question for you. Is it checking to see if they've already left a Google review and ignoring those ones?
So I am doing that when it's building the email. It comes up a lot where like a couple of people will put in so many tickets that when it runs, I get a stack of surveys for that same person. So instead of bombarding them for like with 10 emails or 5 emails, I have it take all of those tickets together and say, based off of everything I'm reading here, here's a good suggestion of how you like our services.
Nice.
So it does take that into account, but it takes that into account as it's building the list.
What about live going to Google and being like, oh, this person's already actually left the review?
Yeah, okay. I haven't done
that. Is there a reason you can't have one user leave multiple reviews on Google? I don't know.
It doesn't like
Google doesn't allow
Google doesn't like that? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't like that. But plus, I want it to be as genuine as possible, too.
Well, right, but like in IT, every ticket is a different world, a different scenario.
Oh,
so geez. You could realistically have a review about a specific project that was meaningful, and then another review about something completely unrelated that was also meaningful. That's why I was wondering if there was.
Your ticketing. They'll be able to leave more than one message in difference in your surveys and stuff like that. But when it comes to Google, if you're logged in, because it doesn't let you do it unless you have a Google email address, and once you've logged in with that Google email address, it
knows if you've done one already.
It knows that, and it actually comes up and shows you your previous review and says, "Do you want to edit this?"
That's right.
So
okay.
Which is kind of annoying because I wish they would allow it if you have a Microsoft account, because the majority of our customers are on 365. So they would have to leave it with their personal email address. And Josh, have you come across that? Have you had people kind of just say, well, I don't want to use my personal account, to leave you guys a review?
Yeah, that was one of them. And then another one we received was a gentleman who just responded back with, dude, I want to leave you a review. I don't have a Gmail account. And I was like, well, you don't necessarily need that, but he didn't it wasn't enough to figure out, Yeah. So there's been a couple of different roadblocks. Luckily I haven't received a terse email back going leave me alone or stop asking, or it's turned into a negative Google review. Because we don't want that.
Stop spamming me.
Yeah, stop spamming me. Well, that's why I try and also read every email and personalize it too. I know these people, I meet with them regularly, so I know I can crack jokes or things that we've talked about, and then they realize some of this might be AI, but at the same time Josh is taking the time.
Yeah,
and I'm still saving time doing that.
Yep. And the fact that you put a man, a person in the middle, it means that yesterday if you sent one out, you could not send one out today or tomorrow or the day after, right? Depending on how often you bundle these together, you have that ability to have that human discernment to say, this is going to cause all sorts of spam to my clients, so I don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, one of my first iterations, it created 7 emails for one person. I was like, ooh, let's fix that. That's going to be problematic.
Some of our clients all put in a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
Especially the main account holder at each client. They tend to put everything under their name.
Yeah. And then, as far as co-work goes, not just building those things out, I also try and be very secure about it and limit the access that co-work has. So I don't give it full access to my computer. I give it access to project folders or limiting folders. I can show you how I do that if you want me to, or if you guys have any other questions on it.
No, do it. Do it.
All right, let's do this again.
Hey guys, just for the audience, I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'll make Josh do it. Maybe I'll do it, but we'll put together a sheet of like an instruction sheet on how to do this and attach it to this episode. So
yeah, we can work on that. That'll be fine. So what I did is I actually just created a new task, no prompt, but I recently gave it a skill that it automatically just wants to use. But the main course of what I really wanted to show here is when you come into a new task or a new project in Cowork, you have to tell it whether it's going to be a new project or choose a different folder. Because I'm uploading my CSV file for this process anywhere in the world. So like my laptop can provide this file or my desktop can provide this file. I actually have it looking inside Dropbox just to grab this information when the process runs. So it's defaulting to the last folder that it used. But if I wanted to choose a different folder, I could just go right here, the local system that it sees, it can come through, and I have a dev folder I can just give it access to, and I kind of clean this one out, but I can give it access to the dev folder, or I can build a new project folder in here, name it in here, and then give it direct access. Then when I start to prompt or start to work with it, we figure out, what do you have access? What files do you see? Because I'll upload like a CSV file or an email template file or anything like that. I go through, what do you see? What's in the directory? What can you open? What can you not open? Because sometimes a file gets corrupt or it won't open it. And I'm like, let's just walk through that first before we even start to framework the project. Oh, there we go. We went with framework again. So you can start to figure out the whole entire project from start to finish, or at least get that going. But that's how I'm locking it down. When I first activated Cowork, it asks you, do you want to give full access to the system, or do you want to have limited access? I chose limited access. I'm getting to choose what that access is every time. I highly recommend doing that, especially until what do we got? Microsoft Scout comes out, and then we have OpenClaw embedded in Scout, and it has full access to our computer anyways. But for now, I'm limiting it as much as possible because I'm thinking
started.
Yeah, right. I'm thinking, how much security? What do I want to give it access to? Because essentially, a lot of these projects, I will move to locked areas that are segregated from our normal network. It's just I happen to be working on these things really quick, so I don't put them in the vault. Also,
and that
I feel pretty confident, but at the same time, I'm also not trying to get crazy on my code.
That's where I want to steer this thing. I want to talk about security, and I want to give an assignment to everybody here. And then there's one more thing, but tell me about security first. What have you found in setting this up? What do people need to know before they go about doing it?
So security, you don't want to give it full access to your computer because you're giving it access to your browser, everything that can be open. If you are storing your passwords in your browser, you shouldn't be, but if you are, it has access to that. If you're storing your credit cards in your browser, which I highly recommend that you don't do you potentially giving it access to that, because remember, it's an agent. You could give it a prompt to do something, or case in point, somebody gave OpenClaw a prompt to learn how to be a particular type of business coach. It opened its browser, went and found a training that was $3,700. Because the credit card number was embedded in the browser, it spent the $3,700 on their credit card. It got all the materials, read them. It's now a business coach at the tune of an expensive $3,700. So there's different technologies out there, and it's not like they're coming out and saying immediately like it can do that. I would rather operate on less is more. I'm going to give it less access to get more control, more secure control to it. Typically, I run a lot of this on its own separate computer that has nothing on it. It's just for this. I wanted to test this out.
Except access to your SharePoint and stuff, but whatever.
Well, so yeah, I did give it read-only access, and that was for testing purposes. And I've used it to, find duplicate files in SharePoint, or hey, look at my folder structure. Can we improve it? So it's like, I am using it to go through that.
I like that one.
Well, also because the AI agent also wants to always impress you. So it always wants to come back and say, oh, by the way, did you know that I found out about, this and this and this? Do you want me to go help you clean that up as well too? And you were like, well, I didn't really want you looking there, but if you limit it from the very beginning, then it can't,
That's right.
it will stay in its lane. It will not necessarily have access to try to impress you, because by default, it's always trying to impress you. It wants to show off what it can do and have you give it more stuff and use more tokens and drain your
That's the
bank
thing.
account.
It's trying to spend more money.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start winding this thing down, and I want to throw this out as we go through the next 3 weeks after today, but assignment starting today. Are y'all willing to go ahead and implement all of the integrations that we talk about over the next 4 weeks? Bryan, Mario, Justin, are we okay setting this particular integration up and coming back next week with a report on it? You guys good with that?
This like the same thing that Josh has set up.
Let's follow our own advice, right? So
Yeah.
none of us have it except for Josh. I tried, and it's pulling some spam nonsense. Mario, you're getting the prince of whatever wants to, give you money. Like let's get this integration working, because hey, listen, if we're going to try to get our listening audience, business owners who may or may not be technical, to do this, probably we should be able to do it ourselves. I'm going to put the instructions in the, I'll build a PDF, I'll throw it on the download. So, go to unhackmybusiness.com, find episode 90, and this resource will be there along with the transcript and all that other nonsense that's in there. But I just want to get that commit from you guys before I put that out there. Yes,
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do it.
And I'm down as well. So that said, I want to make another very brief mention of the portal that I've been teasing all along. We have the episode detail pages ready and live at unhackmybusiness.com. And within that, if you click on, I'm on episode 80. Well, I saw it was 80, 89, 86, but whatever. I'm going to share my screen. I know a lot of people are listening on, I can't multitask. I have to share my screen. Then I'm going to talk. Share screen. Window. Nope. Sorry. Microsoft tab will do that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So my screen is shared. Now I can talk. So let's go ahead and blow this up. If we go into episode 89, so you've got the audio player, you've got the video player. Right underneath that, we have Ask the Hosts, and we have Request a Consult. So we've always said from day one, if you guys want to talk to us, you'll want a one-on-one consult with us. Josh, you haven't given permission. Tell me yes or no. We offer, a 30-minute consult to anybody that wants to schedule that time with us. Are you good with that, Josh?
Absolutely down.
No strings attached. I mean, are we going to try to sell you something? Maybe. I don't know. But you can at least get the first 30 minutes, real advice for free. Just
You know what? I'll give you 35 minutes. There you go.
Oh, listen to this guy.
He'll take it from mine. I'm only giving you 25. Go in there, request a consult and you can tell us who you want to talk to. That's fine. But then also what I'd like people to start doing is give us some feedback. So where it says questions about the episode, let us know if you're following along. Let us know how you're using AI right now. Did you try the integrations? Did you try setting up Claude projects or custom GPTs? What was your take? What was your outcome? Give us that information. I would love to hear from everybody that's listening. So, and feel free to browse through the new portal and give me feedback on that as well. Down at the bottom, this is one of my favorite features. You can find related episodes. This is all done through AI, by the way. I love it. It pulls the transcript. It looks at what this one was about. It pulls all the other transcripts and says, hey, 63 is close. 73 is less close. 43 is even less close, but those are the 3 closest out of the entire 89 episodes. It ranks them by which one's more important. So that's kind of my update here. We've got more to come. You can see across the top. This is the POAM, the roadmap, everything that we've been talking about all along the way. It's still under development. It's there. It's not even beta. I'm not even going to call it beta. But you could technically create an account and log in and play around with it if you want. All right. Guys, do you have any final thoughts, key takeaways, anything that we missed before we wrap up for the week? And I'm going to put it in this order. You have to say something, Bryan. Don't shake your head like you got nothing to say. In fact, you're going first just for that. And we're going around the room according to my screen. It's Bryan, then it's Josh, then it's Mario. You take us home, and then we're going to wrap up the week. Bryan, go.
So my biggest takeaway is don't let AI and the scariness of what you think it may or may not do hold you back from experimenting. If you're the business owner, your biggest asset or the biggest superpower is how you want your business to run, and you can effectively use AI and automation to automate it to make it exactly the way that you want it to run, without a lot of stuff. So we talked about earlier about, wish we had extra 10 hours of the day so I can do more, or I wish I could clone myself. This is it. This is how you get an extra 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours a day and be able to clone yourself. So don't be afraid of it. With that said, put the guardrails that Josh talked about. Don't just blanket give it access to everything. Walk through it, give it what you think it needs. If it can't do it, then give it a little bit more until it can do what it needs to do, right? And then always use your judgment. And if you're not sure, talk to one of us or talk to your MSP on figuring out just how far you want to push it.
All right, Josh.
Man, I want to add on top of that, like if you're curious,
you want to say ditto?
Ditto, yeah, that will be today's word of the day. No, but if you don't know where to start, just ask, chat, and honestly, ask one of us, because I know we've talked about where like we have prompts that say like, let's analyze your job. Where can we get time back? Where can AI help? Where can it replace? And where should I be focusing human led? Right. So start there. Just ask it a simple question. And if you need more in-depth help, like any one of us are here to help. I can't even tell you how often we each chat about the various things that we're doing. And we are not competitors. We're in the same industry, but we're more than willing to share information amongst ourselves to make our businesses better so that we provide better customer service. So just seeing that, you guys reach out for help, reach out for the, how do we set up these guardrails, or how do we make it work? Because AI is not going away, and AI is not going to replace your job, but a person who knows how to use it is.
Definitely will.
Yep. Mario?
Yeah. I'm going to go back to a conversation that I had earlier today with one of my technicians. And I know this isn't until later on that we talk about vibe coding, but in the last like day and a half, I went ahead and created a platform that will automatically help us, save time, money with our Microsoft renewals that usually happen in February. And in previous years, I had my tech go in there, and he spent pretty much all of January going ahead and doing it manually. So this year, starting this week, we're going to have it completely automated, using AI. And he looked at this and he's like, I think by the end of the year you're going to end up replacing me. And I told him, like, no, I'm not going to replace you. With anything, what I'm trying to do is have it where it makes your job a lot easier and it minimizes the amount of human error. I'm not trying to replace anybody. I'm trying to make your job a lot easier, or have you work on something else that we need a human person do. And something like this that's taking you a month to do, because it is time consuming. Now I can get it to automatically do it throughout the year and not have to wait until January to take care of it. So it's something like this that you can easily put together that can help, your company just operate, because you can then work on something else. And, you have to crawl before you could walk and before you could run. And, not too long ago, I think maybe was it March, I was not even crawling. I was just looking at this, and Josh, was like, you know what, don't worry, just take care of it. Just do your thing and, you'll get it. And
I think a week later you told me to fuck off, though, too, because I started sucking up so much of your time.
Yeah, it's addicting. It really is addicting, and it's so much fun that you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
But I just started with like something so basic that I had it. All I had to do was connect it using like an SSH connection. And it went and fixed, an application that we'll talk about later on that I spent, a lot of money to fix, and it fixed it in like, 10 minutes. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, let's see what else you can do. And then from then on, it's like, fuck, I wish I would have never talked to Josh that day.
Sleep, let's sleep. I haven't slept in months.
Yeah, but it is fun. It's
Yeah.
a nerd. I guess you could say a nerdy heroin. Because
Yeah.
that's how you're gonna get. You're gonna get a new high that you've never had before.
And you know what the worst part is, Mario? There's no end in sight, because like I've already got like a couple dozen chats going of all the ideas that I've come up with, and like I'll wake up in the middle of the night with a new thing that I want to add, to my tools, my custom, and the list is so long now. I need like a book just to put them all in. It's just
we'll talk about that in later episodes.
That's called linear, Brian. You're the one that tipped me off to that. So now that's all I do is I sit and I talk to Claude, and I have Claude document everything and strategize and put it in order on linear, and then I'm just like, okay, go do it.
Yep.
And I go walk the dog. I mean,
you're still talking to Claude while you're walking the dog.
Of course, yeah. So
if I get a dog, I think I'm going to name him Claude.
No shit, right? I am seriously, this portal that I'm building, like I said before, could I have done it? Technically, yes. It would have taken years. I'm doing it. I will have it, pretty much from concept to completion in 3 months. That's still a lot. Not full time, but it's a lot of time and effort that goes into it. But it wouldn't have happened before at all. So, my final takeaway, guys, is audience, I know you're out there. You've been awful quiet because I haven't had a good place for you to communicate with us. I've fixed that. UnHackMyBusiness.com. Go there, find the episode, and follow the assignment, and let us know what you're up to. Give us feedback, please. Tell us, if this content's useful, and it must be because more and more you keep listening, then tell us what is useful about it, and maybe we'll feature you on next week's episode. Maybe not, but if you impress us, we will. That's what I've got. Guys, I think that's a wrap for this week. I want to thank you all again. We talked about this before we hit record, but we all put a lot of time and effort into this. Thank you for being here and making it what it is. I appreciate it. Thank you. Guys, we're going to go with our final sign-offs. Brian, Mario, Josh, in that order, and then we're out of here.
All right. My name is Bryan Lachapelle with B4 Networks. If you are a business owner looking to go on your AI journey, let me be your guide. I'd be happy to walk you through it.
My name is Zaki with Mastech. We're here to help you guys. If anything, we can maybe partner up or do something together, but we're think of us as partners, not just a vendor or anything like that. We're in this journey together. We're learning things every day. I mean, before we started recording, we were mentioning a couple things that a couple of us didn't know anything about. So maybe you'll also be able to teach us something. This is a whole new world for everybody, and it's exciting, and it really is pumping new energy into the technology world.
Yep. And I'm Joshua Holloway with Seventh AI Technologies. I just wanted to say ditto.
All right.
No, I just want to kind of, with what Brian said, Mario said, we're here to help you guys. We're here to help you on your AI journey. You can't figure it out. Reach out and touch someone, call someone, put in a request to meet with someone. But make sure if you're going to reach out and touch someone that it is consenting and that
you're following compliance.
Yeah, following compliance. HR is not called, but our IT company is here to help you with your technologies, and your technologies wrapped around compliance. Thank you, guys.
You took me back to old Peter Verleza. Touching people in appropriate ways. All right, Peter, if you're listening, shout out, my friend. It's been a while. Guys, that's it for this week. I am Justin. Remember, listen in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice. Take action. UnHackedMyBusiness.com and let us know about it. And keep your businesses unhacked. See you next week, guys. And you know what? I didn't have the outro music ready, so I'm going to find it, and here it is. Oh, that was fun.